being favorite, right? I always like that. Thank you so much. I'm the oldest, so I know I was the favorite anyway, but that's okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about getting directions and things like that going on in my life. But I need to start off with saying it's just kind of crazy to think about dating myself by talking about the original GPS way back in 2000 when we got the Garmin, remember? This little box that you typed an address in, and it was a miracle because there was a map that showed up and it would tell you how to get where you needed to go with voice command. It was amazing. So for somebody who gets lost in a parking lot, I really couldn't wait to be able to use this. But there are some, everybody keeps talking about old people out there. I don't see you at all. And I'm assuming that there are some people in the audience that are younger than 30. So this is a map, and this is what we used to do. And those maps would be in your glove box. And so wait, I gotta explain what a glove box is. So it was this compartment that was all the way over in front of the passenger seat. And as the driver, you'd have to strain to get over there and find the little button that would open it up. And then it was like your kitchen junk drawer in your car. There'd be napkins and receipts and pens and pencils and makeup and lipstick and all kinds of things. And these maps. And so you would open it up and you would find your street on this little tiny piece of paper. And you figure it all out. And then you can't see the windshield anymore. So I did not like using maps. That wasn't something that I wanted to do. I preferred it if somebody would use landmarks and they would tell me how to get places by saying things like, go to the store. I knew how to get to, well, sometimes it depended on what the store was. Let's say, let's go to the fire station. Go to the fire station. Go for 3 blocks, count your blocks as you go, you'll see an oak tree. And when you see that oak tree, you just have 2 more houses and you'll find the blue one that you're looking for. So I love people that could give me directions like that. But better than that were gas stations. Back in the day when men would come out and they would clean your windshield and they'd put gas in your car, and they knew how to get anywhere that I ever asked. It was pretty amazing to me. And they were always really nice about it. And they didn't care when I came back 20 minutes later and said, let's try again. That one didn't quite work. So another problem that I have besides just the whole direction thing is somebody that can stand outside and say, that's north. And I'd be like, how can you know? And they talk about the sun and all, and it makes no sense to me. And I think it's because I grew up on a peninsula. Now think about it. There's the peninsula sticking out. There's water on 3 sides. I learned that the sun sets in the west. So that means I'm surrounded by west. There's no room for east and west and north. And I just, so that's a problem if you grow up on a peninsula. That's a good excuse anyway. My other problem is I'm a little bit hand dyslexic. I have a hard time telling the difference between right and left. But I have figured this out. So I wear rings on both hands. So left hand is traditionally diamonds. So if somebody says turn left, I look at my hands, diamonds, okay. And then you reach out and you tap. And if you hear a sound, that means that's the direction you're going because you're hitting the window. If somebody says turn right, your other ring, the right, right. So you go like this and you hear nothing, but that means you're going to go that direction. So that works for me, and I swear to God I do it. Some of my friends are in the audience, and left and right, it works. It really does. So besides that, I was going to just tell you a little story about my son who tried to help me with directions and getting places. when he was in middle school, he had to invent something. So he got this piece of plastic and a suction cup, and he stuck it to the left part of my windshield, and he would write with an erasable marker a pretty simple map that would hopefully get me where I needed to go. And I thought that was pretty genius. He now says it was the original GPS, but I think he needed to do a little bit more work. But the worst part of all this for him was he never got to share it at the science fair because, for reasons only a 12-year-old boy can explain, the night before the science fair, he sticks that suction cup to his forehead, and he woke up with this huge hickey on his forehead. And after I finished laughing hysterically, I told him, "You're not going to school today." So he never got the chance to share. So back to Garmin. In 2000, my husband and I were we were in Boston, and we rented a car, and part of the deal was a Garmin in the car. And I'd never used one, and I was super excited. So we put the address in at the hotel, and the first thing she does is send me to a roundabout. And at this point, I'd never been in a roundabout in Boston rush hour traffic.
Yep.
Lanes of cars going in circles, exit everywhere, but no signs, nothing to tell you what you're doing. So I was like on a racetrack, just kind of going in circles. And she kept telling me, "Take the fifth exit, take the fifth exit, take the fifth exit." How am I going to get over there? I did not know what to do, but we just held our breath and darted out and got off, and she immediately told me that was wrong. And I saw a liquor store. So I thought, I know what to do. So I pull into the parking lot, and I tell my husband, "Go buy me a bag of M&Ms and a Diet Coke." And I fortified myself with that, and we got back on the roundabout, and somehow or other we figured out what the fifth exit was, and we made our way to the hotel. And I have to admit, I developed a relationship with Garmin for the rest of the week. She was firm, she was insistent, she wanted me to get certain places. She sometimes verged on dominatrix kinds of behaviors as she started shouting, "Recalculating, recalculating." I'm like, "Oh my God, recalculating, what does that mean?" And I look, and the map is going crazy, and there's a lot of U-turns involved. So anyway, she and I developed a relationship. I did care about her. I wanted to please her, and I never did. But when we got home, I bought a Garmin for myself and my car, and her name quickly became Car Bitch because she was so bossy. She would get so pissed. She could not believe that I couldn't follow her directions. She was just an angry person. And so Car Bitch and I got along because eventually I would get where I needed to go. And I did have to change her name to CB because by this time I had a little granddaughter in the back seat, and my daughter wasn't fond of me yelling, "Car Bitch, tell me where to get off." So I dropped her name and turned it into CB. So now Siri is my best friend. She and my phone are with me constantly, whether I'm walking or driving. Even walking in my own neighborhood, I always know that I have somebody that I can turn to if I need some help. She will tell me what to do. And she usually does it without judgment, but she's developed a new phrase with me. The other day, I asked her for directions home, and she says, "Which home?" And I'm like, "The same home we left 30 minutes ago when you gave me directions to Rayleigh's, bitch. What's wrong with you?" So I don't know when I developed a second home, but Siri thinks I live in two places now. So that's it for me. Thank you guys for laughing. I just want to tell you, I'm sure I'm going to make it home because I live 3 minutes from here. So once I find Winding Way, I'm good.
Give it going for Kay, everybody. I told you she was my